It's just a rare connection where we connect rare disease patients, educate medical percent of no FDA approved treatment. Since this is since September is Newborn Screening Awareness Month, today this conversation will focus the congenital muscular dystrophy. I'm excited to introduce Kelly. And has brought her passion for creative arts and support outreach campaigns. A graduate of the University of Kentucky, specializing in multimedia. Dive in. Please remember that this is only, and please do not attempt to do anything without seeking medical prevention. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see. How important do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think the earlier that you get a diagnosis, the earlier you can. Yeah, sorry, it's lagging quite a bit. I'm just okay. Yeah, I was just saying that I think that the earlier that you can get a diagnosis and get genetic confirmation, the earlier you can seek treatment um, and seek professional help in trying to obviously prolong your life and prolong um, your health. So I think that earlier the better. I think it's definitely a positive thing, and I definitely encourage it for sure.
Let's see. Is CMD on the if is it one of the conditions screened for at birth?
It is. Do not believe it is on the newborn screening list currently. We're mostly trying to work towards, making our way up to be one of those that's on the list. But currently, as I'm aware, we are not.
Okay. So how do you think the newborn screening could help identify for a better or
Yeah, I think if we were one of those that were able to be screened and tested, that the earlier the treatment intervention starts, the better the chances are at quality of life and just better treatment overall to help in all the areas with neurology and all the things that the earlier you can start. I definitely think it would be a a positive thing to have on there. So hopefully one day soon we can get more of those rare diseases listed and on the newborn screening list for sure.
So can you share your experience with CMD, particularly in the light of how early detection impact in your journey?
Yeah, so
Um,
I know that CMD, or just rare disease in general usually takes, it's a long journey to finally get that genetic confirmation. Usually about like a 7-year journey to get a proper diagnosis. So if CMD was, it would definitely quality, like what I had mentioned. And yeah, I think from my personal journey, I know that I had a very long diagnostic journey, and so it would be better to have known that earlier, to know what to look for, how to treat it, where to go, how to seek out specialists that are familiar and know what CMD is. Um, so yeah, if you can start that earlier, that would be obviously pivotal and life changing to be able to have that sooner rather than the long rare disease journey. So
can you okay.
right. So I was diagnosed around age 3, actually, and I was wrongfully diagnosed with a different form of muscular dystrophy. So I was confirmed from a muscle biopsy, and I know a lot of the CMDs now you can actually do genetic testing as far as like skin biopsies, muscle biopsies, or just general blood screenings. So that's definitely improved so far. So that's good. Right. So, just my parents had noticed that some of the stages of my growing journey were just a little off. I showed muscle weakness, which is a sign of a lot of muscle dystrophies. Um, so that I just was not strong enough to like do steps or run, just some of the common marker milestones and markers. I was a little slow on or delayed. So I went to a neurologist and started seeking those answers and was able to um, do the testing, and it did show that I had a form of muscular dystrophy. So I was confirmed that way.
Do you know the differences between MD and MS?
No, I'm not super familiar with MS. I know that it's also affects more of like the nerves, which some MDs do as well.
Mhm.
I know muscular dystrophy is more uh, of the muscles. And yeah, I don't feel comfortable answering that question because I'm not an expert at MS, but I know there are some
Yeah.
similarities for sure. But yeah, I can't really speak too much to that question. Sorry. Right. Okay.
Um, is how or early diagnosis in the CMD community?
Right. So we are definitely a resource. So we have a lot of care guidelines that are on our websites that can show you, kind of advocate for your local clinicians how to treat CMD. So we definitely try to help um, in that part of the journey as to what to look for, how to treat it. So we definitely have awesome care guidelines. We have some educational webinar series that we kind of dive into some deeper topics on um, different things like transitions in life. And we partner with a lot of the rare disease outlets to like Nord and Every Life and just advocate for just general rare disease improvements and advocacy, just to try to keep um, uplift their community and get them as many resources and make sure they're prepared for their journey in life. So I'm sorry, he was breaking up and lagging. I think you asked if there's any pain with MD. Is that what we're answering the question? Right. Yeah. So with MZ, yeah, so a lot of it we do have like things like joint contractures, which means you can't extend like your elbows or your knees, your legs fully. And yeah, it can be painful and just a lot of CMD users are mobility device users as well. So sitting all day or just not a lot of physical activity can uh, be painful and not to like stretch out as much. So yeah, it varies from person to person, and also severity level as well. But generally I would say it's not terribly bad, but it's yeah, there is some pain involved with CMD for sure.
Yeah, being that you're in a
I'm sorry, how do I prevent what? I'm sorry, it keeps lagging.
bed
Oh,
sores,
that's
and and that type of thing.
okay.
The ulcers.
Yeah, so I definitely big advocate for stretching and just moving as much as possible. So I try to just reposition as much as I can, stretching, moving. Like I try to do different stand and pivot transfers. So like getting on the couch or just getting out of my chair here and there when I can, just to kind of prevent any sores or different things that may come about from prolonged sitting. So just definitely try to keep moving the way that you can. Yeah, I just definitely and stretching and I know clothing has a lot to do with it too. So just making sure you have on quality clothes to help like be a good barrier between like your bottom or your limbs that may um be in the way for those things. So
Mhm. Are you able to transfer yourself?
so I do require caregivers. So no, I'm not an independent, cannot independently transfer. So I definitely rely on my caregivers and personal care attendants to help me with those things. So with things like lifts and just activities of daily
Mhm,
life to help me complete those. So
mhm. I see. Are there any initiative focused on uh, currently working
yeah, so we actually are
product?
with Cure CMD, we are working our advocacy. So we just started a advisory council for advocacy. So we're just trying to learn more about our community needs and what would help benefit them. So we just started that and be rolling that out more in 2025 as well. Just to hear from our community members about what they're impacted by and what they could see. To help improve their daily lives. So I know it varies state to state and obviously, um, overall federal things as well. So we're just trying to learn more about what are some of the current policies and things out there that we can try to help um, give a rare voice to help improve those so
Mhm.
that it's better for access to care and things like that. So
See, you've used your design skills to contribute to the outreach campaigns. How have those and CMD.
I missed the last part of the question. How do the campaigns were used overall, or how were they viewed? I'm sorry, what was the last part of the question?
Oh, have any of the campaigns that you've done with Cure CMD uh, been?
No, they have not, since we're not on the list. So a lot of the campaigns that we do are more for like our giving season, so like end of year fundraisers, Giving Tuesday, and then we do a big one for Rare Disease Day in February. So those are kind of our big ones for giving, and then our Rare Disease Day spotlights, and then we have our anniversary that's in May. So we always do like a big anniversary type campaign. And then I know right now, currently, is September is Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month. So that's we always try to highlight some different stories and make sure the spotlight is on MDs for September. It should always be, but September is a special month to kind of highlight that. So yeah, yeah.
Um, Looking ahead, do you have any goals or any goals related to of Cure CMD or the broader?
Yeah, for sure. So I know we are always working towards growing our community. We want to reach more people. We want more people to be aware of what CMD is and how to treat it, and just keep growing our awesome community. So I would definitely say growth and awareness is definitely what we're trying to achieve for sure. So I know social media has helped a lot with connecting people and being able to um, kind of harness those relationships. And we definitely just hope to keep connecting more and more, and also obviously making more clinicians aware of CMD and referring them to us so that we can help provide all the resources and support they need for their journeys.
Uh, who may have received a rare through a newborn, or advice would you give to the newly diagnosed?
I think you're saying what
To someone
advice would
who's
I
newly
give?
diagnosed.
Okay, yeah, so I would just say that you're not alone. I know it's probably daunting and just terrifying and so scary to get a rare disease diagnosis, but there are so many people out there as well living with these rare conditions that are thriving and doing amazing things. So it's definitely not the end of, um, it's not a negative thing. I think there's always a way. It's about perspective of using that and using your voice to share your story and your struggles, and just know that there are others out there just like you, living and doing that same journey. So I would definitely just say stay
Mhm.
strong and find your community. I think that's really important, to find your tribe, find people that
Mhm.
are like you, and just make connections and learn from them, and try to get the resources and medical support you need to try to live the best life.
See how you, okay. Oh, see. So how has life changed of you?
Yeah, so I obviously muscular dystrophy is a progressive disease. So I was walking at earlier stages. So definitely my mobility has decreased from walking to being chair bound. And as far to like respiratory issues, having to use breathing support sometimes day and night. So I would just say just overall physical elements. My mind and my intelligence. I went away to school. I have background, college, all the things. I definitely say that I've grown um, in those ways, and I'm still super intelligent in those aspects. But I just say it's my physical ability that has declined. But yeah, I'm still just trying to stay stable and seeking all the treatment that I can from doctors and clinicians to help support and maintain my mobility as much as I can, given the circumstances. So,
Mhm. Uh, hope the conversation has shed light on the importance of early detection and its role in with rare disease. Wrap up. I want to take struggling with mental health issues, with mental health experience or suicidal thoughts. Please reach out for help. 88 low to 741-741. Connected with us. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rare Chef, where I do cooking videos also, as well as this podcast. You so you can also subscribe to the podcast on the audio version of the podcast. It is available on most audio stations. Um, and to the, and if you're listening to the audio version, you can also now text me through the link in the show notes. Um,
thanks so much for having me. Thank you. Bye bye.